What's up, guys, and welcome back to the KeepItTechie channel, where we dive into all things Linux and tech. I'm Josh, your guide through the wild world of open source software, and today we're talking about something that's been creeping up in the tech world, like that sneaky line of code you didn't notice until it broke your whole program. And that's Linux usage is on the rise. And for those of you still rocking Windows or Mac, you might be thinking, really though? But trust me, the Linux wave is real and it's coming in strong. Now, before we dive into the details, let me give a quick shout out to all the new subscribers and everyone who's been rocking with me from the beginning. Y'all make this community what it is, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join the crew. We're all about learning Linux, sharing knowledge, and helping each other get into the tech field. All right, enough of the intro. Let's get into why Linux is blowing up and what it means for the tech world. So grab yourself a coffee, your notepad, and maybe your favorite Linux distro USB, because we're about to geek out for a bit. Let's get to it. So, why is Linux suddenly becoming the cool kid in town? It's not like it just appeared out of nowhere. Linux has been around since the early 90s. Back then, it was like that underground band only the hardcore fans knew about. But now Linux is starting to hit the mainstream. More and more people, companies, and even entire industries are waking up to its potential. And honestly, it's about time. So let's break it down. One of the biggest reasons Linux is gaining traction is its flexibility. Unlike some other operating systems that lock you into their ecosystem, Linux is like that open world video game where you can go anywhere, do anything, and mod the heck out of it. For example, if you want a lightweight distro for an old laptop, done. Let's say you need a rock solid server OS. Linux has got you. Let's say you're looking to power your IoT devices or even your car. Yep, Linux can do that too. Another major factor is security. With cyber attacks on the rise, and you guys see my articles like every couple days about cyber attacks. I recently talked about the one where everybody's social security number in the US got stolen. But companies and individuals are getting tired of dealing with proprietary systems that seem to have more holes than Swiss cheese. But Linux, on the other hand, is known for its strong security features. Plus, with an active community of developers constantly patching vulnerabilities, Linux is often quicker to address security issues than its proprietary counterparts. And let's not forget about the cost. I mean, who doesn't love free stuff? Linux is open source, which means no licensing fees, no hidden costs, no annoying pop-ups asking you to upgrade. You can download it, install it, and start using it without spending a dime. And for companies, especially startups or those with tight budgets, this is a game changer. Why shell out big bucks for licensing when you can get a powerful, reliable operating system for free? And here's where things get even more interesting. The cloud. As many businesses shift to cloud-based solutions, Linux is becoming the go-to operating system. It's lightweight, scalable, and plays nicely with just about every cloud platform out there. Whether it's AWS, Google Cloud, or Azure, Linux is the backbone of the cloud. And with the rise of hybrid cloud platforms, Linux is only going to get more popular as enterprises look for scalable, secure, and reliable operating systems. Now, let's talk about some of the challenges, because let's be real, no OS is perfect. Yes, even Linux. As much as we all love the Penguin, there are still some things holding Linux back. First off, the learning curve. I get it. Linux can be intimidating, especially if you're coming from the land of Windows or Mac OS. All those terminal commands can feel like you're speaking another language, because you kind of are. But here's the deal. Like anything else in tech, it just takes a little time and practice, and the rewards are worth it. I'm telling you, once you get over the initial hump, you'll start to see just how powerful and flexible Linux really is. Now, for companies, the mitigation strategy is simple. Invest in training. If you want to switch to Linux, make sure your team knows what they're doing. It's a small price to pay for all the benefits you'll get down the line. And for individuals, there are so many resources out there. YouTube channels like mine, online courses, forums, and more. And the Linux community is one of the most supportive I've ever seen. And there's always someone willing to help you out when you get stuck. Another challenge is hardware compatibility. Not all hardware manufacturers play nice with Linux, which can be a headache if you're trying to get everything up and running smoothly. But again, with a little research and patience, you can find the right drivers and make it work. There are entire communities dedicated to helping you get Linux running on just about any hardware you could think of. And hey, sometimes the challenge is part of the fun, right? Lastly, let's talk about the competition. And I'm talking about Windows and Mac OS. They still dominate the desktop market. And it's not easy to convince people to switch, which I've been doing that for years. For a lot of folks, the idea of leaving behind the familiar comforts of Windows or Mac OS is just too daunting. But here's where I think Linux has an edge. It's not about replacing those systems. It's about offering something different. Linux isn't trying to be Windows, even though Windows is trying to be Linux, at least in the last couple of years, or Mac OS. Linux is a whole other beast. And that's what makes it so powerful. If you're not already using Linux, you're sleeping on one of the best kept secrets in tech. And I say secret loosely because clearly the word is out there. Linux is powerful, secure, and yes, it's cool, especially if you're a nerd like me who loves to tinker with stuff. Plus, with the rise of AI, cloud computing, and IoT, Linux is only going to get more popular. Companies are realizing that open source is the future, and Linux is leading the charge. But let's get a little bit more personal. As someone who's been in the tech field for a while, I can tell you that learning Linux was one of the best decisions I ever made. It opened up so many doors for me, both professionally and personally. And it's not just about the technical skills, it's about the mindset. Linux teaches you to think critically, solve problems, and approach challenges with creativity. It's not just an operating system, it's a way of thinking. Now, I know there are some of you out there who might be on the fence. Maybe you've tried Linux before and got frustrated. Maybe you're just comfortable with what you're using now and don't see the need to switch. And that's cool. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I will say this: give Linux another shot. Try a different distro, explore a new use case, or just play around with it on a virtual machine. You might be surprised at what you find. And for those of you who are already on the Linux train, keep going, man. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep sharing your knowledge with others. I want to see more Linux channels out there, to be honest. I mean, the more we grow this community, the more we can help others see the value of Linux. And who knows, maybe one day Linux will be the default OS for everyone. It's a long shot, but hey, stranger things have happened. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Hopefully you are hyped about Linux as I am, or at the very least, you're curious enough to check it out. Remember, this isn't just some passing trend. Linux is here to stay, and it's only getting stronger. And if you found this video helpful, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Let me know if you're already using Linux or if you're thinking about making that switch. And as always, if you're trying to learn Linux or just get into tech, keep it locked right here on my channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Whenever I talk to people, whenever I mentor people dealing with, getting into tech, you got to figure out what you like or what you're interested in. Because yeah, a lot of people get into the, tech field because you can make a good amount of money. The money is the motivator. But you also, in my opinion, in order for you to be happy, you got to like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And so, like for me, a lot of times it doesn't feel like work, bro. Most times it really doesn't feel like work. Yeah, I'm doing something fun. I'm doing something I love to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes it, great for me.